Hello everybody, this is WarriorDan, and today we're taking a look at Die Young. Okay, I'm not going to beat around the bush. This game's title is 2 words short, because a more apt name would be Die Young from Boredom. The game's concept is pretty straightforward. You're a survivor trapped on an island full of homicidal psychopaths with an armada of weaponry, armed with nothing except your wits and possessing only one goal: survive. Plot so simple it almost sounds like something you'd expect to see on the CW. Now I'll say this for like the 100th time on my channel. I do not necessarily require a strong plot or really any plot to enjoy a game, but if the game lacks in one area, like plot, it should find some way to overachieve in some other way in order to compensate for the lack. For example, Valve games like Half-Life and Portal have very limited, and in the case of Portal, almost non-existent plots. But both franchises have had fundamentally unique game mechanics and level design, to such an extent that both franchises would ultimately be regarded as two of the most influential milestones in modern gaming history. In the case of Die Young here, there really is no redemption here. I have honestly tried to force myself into playing about an hour of it, and cannot bring myself to commit any further time towards the endeavor. Die Young is kind of like a low-budget mix of Far Cry and Mirror's Edge. You get to explore a fairly large island map. Nearly everything as far as I can tell seems accessible at the start of the game, allowing a vast degree of free roam. The problem therein is that the explorable world is horribly optimized. I'm running this game off of a fairly beefy gaming desktop I literally just bought about a year ago. I have a NVIDIA 2070 GTX graphics card, as well as 16 gigabytes of memory, along with one of the top Intel i7 processors. This beast can handle and has handled some of the most intensive games and programs on the market without a problem, and yet in game I often experience several performance related issues. Low quality textures, even on high settings, frequent frame rate drops, and very noticeable pop-in texture effects. But this is only the lowest hanging fruit on the tree of deplorable sins this game bestows upon players. The world itself is about as empty as the Fortnite Battle Royale Season 1 map. While the island is fairly large, the amount of objective territory, or in other words, enemy occupied areas, or other activity-based locations, is very slim. You spend most of your time just wandering and slowly dying from hunger and thirst. The only time I really felt invested as a player was during one specific mini-boss sequence, where you are sneaking through a corn maze guarded by a hulking brute that looks like he could probably take out John Cena with a simple backhanded slap. The whole thing felt like a very Outlast-inspired scripted moment, and I definitely wouldn't have minded more of that. If you're going to have a survival game with strong underlying horror themes, don't hold back and pull your punches. Just go for it. Go all out. Another problem I had was with the accuracy of the platforming sequences. Oftentimes when attempting to navigate your way, you'll be forced to climb up, down, or to the side in order to proceed. While I like the overall concept, the execution of the mechanic is not quite as compelling. Your character sporadically sometimes, instead of gripping onto the indicated ledge, just seems to throw herself in completely the wrong direction and subsequently will fall down to likely her imminent demise. It's rather annoying. One of the elements that is done fairly well in Die Young is the exploration and platform puzzle solving mechanics. I only wish that these elements were given a bit more focus and a bit more polish. You can have a survival game focus almost purely on platforming and exploration. Anyone familiar with Techland produced games, such as Dying Light or Dead Island, can attest to this. Instead, aside from a few areas of note, you'll mostly spend your time running, crouching, and walking through poorly optimized fields, which hardly anyone would consider fun. Overall, there's not much here to love, but on the other hand, there's not much here to hate either. There just isn't really that much to care about either way. Its bland nature fails to invoke any significant positive or negative reaction from me whatsoever. Again, I just can't be bothered to care either way. I'm not going to say Die Young is a terrible game, it really isn't. It just feels like a new early access game that appeared on the storefront, except it's a full retail game released on September 12th of this year after completing an early access period. There is literally no reason it should feel so bare bones. Die Young currently costs $12.99 on Steam, USD. While it's not a terrible survival game, the often inaccurate controls, poor optimization, and fairly open world design doesn't really incentivize me to recommend it as a purchase. If you plan to get it on sale. However, if you're looking for a really good horror survival game, I'd still recommend getting The Forest. It's one of, if not the, best survival games currently on the market. Plus, the subtle inclusion of survival horror elements, and the truly fantastic building and craft mechanics, plus the support for local or online multiplayer, all make it an incredibly enticing product. I've got over 250 hours logged into it, and so far no regrets. I'm not sponsored or anything, I'm way too small to be worth sponsoring to be honest, but I just have no qualms about recommending games that I myself enjoy playing. But either way, I would give Die Young a hard rejection, at least until they spend some more time optimizing the world and filling it out a bit more than how it currently stands. However, I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. And on that note, I'm going to wrap up this video for today. If you enjoyed this video or found it informative, or both, please do hit the like button, it really helps, and take the time to let me know what you think down in the comments comment section below. I read and respond to all comments I see, so if you're looking to get my attention, that'll do it. If you want to see more game review videos like this one, definitely hit the subscribe button down below and click the bell icon to get notifications so you can be among the first to know when a new video goes live. This is WarriorDan signing out. Stay awesome everybody, peace out.